I'm Darren with Akshon Esports, and welcome back to another installment of Akshon Recap, the show where we highlight some of the interesting stories ongoing in the esports community. Montreal Esports has acquired a spot in the Overwatch Contenders series, a spot which is bought from Rogue, a North American organization that was recently acquired by RektGlobal. Montreal Esports is a Canadian esports organization founded by Paul Sen, with George Saint Pierre as a co-owner with the goal of becoming the esports leader of not only Quebec, but also the entirety of Canada. It's interesting to see a Canadian esports organization take an interest in Tier 2 level Overwatch esports during a period where many organizations have been pulling out due to a high barrier of entry into the Overwatch League and a lack of financial stability. Whether or not Montreal Esports secures a place for themselves by Season 2 remains to be seen. Dubbed the Grizzlies, this Canadian team will compete alongside the Academy rosters of Overwatch League teams and their fellow Contenders participants starting March 5th, 2018. In other news, Dafran has managed to reach rank 1 in the top 500 Overwatch competitive ladder.
We rank 1 world, boys. We rank 1 world. We did it.
Many of you guys have been speculating whether or not he would be picked by an Overwatch League team, and now, with how things are shaping up this week, with all the player signings, he could very well be at least given a tryout. I can't speak to his communication skills and how he is as a teammate, but based on mechanical abilities and in-game decision making, he is a prospect that is too good to pass up, even if he were to be placed in an academy team. However, he has gone on record stating that he would rather focus on improving his stream and growing his viewer base than join a professional team, as his previous experience as a member of Selfless made him feel rather depressed and bored. Now, here's Akshon Esports' Adam Nayland at the Overwatch League bringing us a quick interview with LA Valiant's DPS player Agilities. Take it away, Adam.
So, over the season, there was a lot of speculation about the skill levels of various teams, and we've seen a lot of really crazy victories, crazy defeats. It seems that the skill margin between the teams is actually razor thin. What do you think the kind of skill level of all the teams, where is that at, and where do you guys think that you guys stand right now?
I think that we place definitely in the top 4 right now. I think that Boston's kind of stepping up and kind of showing that they're a top contender. But like 3 Korean teams, even though Seoul wasn't performing as well, I think they're still up there, especially when Mercy's not played. Seoul has like such a crazy lineup, so I think that they're going to be either the top 1 or 2 team. New York's obviously surprised everyone. Everyone thought they were going to be like the 3rd best in the league, like 3rd best Korean team, but they're clearly the number 1 right now. With Mercy in the meta and everything. So I think that stage 2 will definitely change up how things are played because there's so many different comps that can be run. And like not again, like Mercy, she won't be played, so like everything's gonna be different.
Awesome. And last but not least, so we've seen a lot of really cool fan engagement coming out through this whole first stage of Overwatch League. A lot of good pieces of fan content, fan art, video content and all that stuff. What's been your favorite fan experience or piece of fan content that you've seen?
My favorite one is a gift I got for my birthday, sent from my Korean fan named Uni. She made like a really cool figurine of myself and like a Genji pose with a Genji sword and my jersey on, and it was really cool. I still have it in my room. So.
Thanks, Adam. Wonderful as always. We didn't get to cover this in our last video, but over the weekend, Overwatch League Commissioner Nanzer tweeted that the finals of each stage would move to a Sunday. This rescheduling was in response to the outcry from the community and likely the teams as well in regards to how the playoffs for Stage 1 were crammed onto a Saturday with the final day of the stage. This resulted in teams like London Spitfire having to play games back-to-back without much of a break. In addition, such a format would not allow teams to reconvene for a sufficient amount of time with their coaching staff to reflect upon how the bracket would play out and attempt to craft a strategy for playoffs, something that is expected based on what we've seen in other esports titles and traditional sports. One point of criticism that I hope the Overwatch League will take to improve upon for the next season is to have all members of a team go on stage to celebrate their victory, rather than just the 6 who happen to be playing on that day. Overwatch games are a team effort, and it was a shame not to see recognition for all members of London Spitfire after their victory over New York Excelsior, but hopefully this is something that will be addressed come Stage 2. Now, for some Chinese Overwatch news. Former Miraculous Youngster player Lateyoung has announced his return from a brief period of retirement after a successful round of tryouts with a team whose name he chose not to disclose, and will be waiting for his results in the next few days. According to the tweet by Mei Xian, this news has helped to revitalize the Chinese Overwatch scene that has been dying as of late in popularity. popularity. With only one slot in the Overwatch League and the rising popularity of PUBG, the Chinese player base has been in a period of decline. Coupled with the poor performance of the Shanghai Dragons, there hasn't been much positive news from the Chinese Overwatch community. We will have to see how Contenders China plays out and whether Blizzard's plans to expand into the Asian market will open up more cities in China. Lastly, Mei hasn't been a staple in the meta lately, but remains a competitive pick for teams playing on defense on maps in enclosed areas such as Nubani and Eichenwald as a means to draw out teamfights and fend off aggression. One question floating around the community is whether or not she needs a rework, to which Overwatch game director Jeff Kaplan has answered with a no. Kaplan explained in a developer update last month that Mei is one of the many heroes with changes that are being worked on internally alongside Hanzo and Symmetra. In a recent forum post, Kaplan explained that these changes would not be as drastic as some might expect. Quote, "We disagree that Mei needs a major rework. We are trying some improvements to her, but they are not major. From what we've seen in the last patch, the community already has an idea what these updates may entail. After accidentally being pushed onto the live client along with the Sombra PTR changes, Mei's alternate fire temporarily consumed 20 ammo per shot instead of the current 25. While he didn't list any details, Kaplan mentioned that Symmetra will require more work to get her into a better place and will take longer to address. There's no word yet from Blizzard on when Mei or Symmetra's adjustments could make it to the Overwatch PTR. What changes do you think need to be made for these characters to be viable in the meta? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's all for this installment of Akshon Recap. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing by clicking the Akshon icon. Or if you're interested, check out some of our other videos that you can click right here. Otherwise, if you have something to say and want to join in on the conversation, join our Discord server. Links to that and everything else mentioned in this video are in the description box below. This has been Darren from Montreal Esports, and we'll see you in the next one.